Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my podcast show, So Deep, the show where we talk about the aspects of practical life, the topic of great relevance, challenges, solutions, but totally in experiential learning, real life manner. No theory, no gyan. All right. So, this is the series that we are doing, the second episode of the series on practical spirituality. If you have not seen our first episode, I will highly recommend. Plus, please go back and see that. It was a wonderful show where we have set the context. What is practical spirituality? What are challenges we are talking about? And how practical spirituality addresses, remove those challenges from our day-to-day life. And it was also great to have Deepti sharing very candidly, openly, transparently her life, how she used the aspects of practical spirituality to address and navigate her life, evolve, elevate her life. That was profound. If you have not seen, please go back and see that. Okay, in today's episode, what we'll do is we'll again take certain real life scenarios, real life cases of challenges, real life profound challenges that, trust me, all of us, most of us face, and how they get addressed with practical spirituality. I'll take certain real life examples. All right, Deepti, welcome back. Let's begin the show.
Thank you, Sudeep. So now I think it's my turn to delve deeper into your life.
Throw.
Um, I know that you've been a leader, you've been an entrepreneur, you've been a mentor to many. I wanted to understand, how did this spiritual journey evolve you? How did it start?
Good question, Deepti. You know, I have written a book also, right? Unveiling the Mystery of Soul. And this book is all about practical spiritualism, all about learnings, different learnings of practical spiritualism. But coming back to your question, what triggered it? I mean, I'm a person who's been raised in a middle class family. My father has been a staunch karmic, practical person, and my mother has been a devout, spiritual person. So, if you see, the karmic as well as practical as well as spiritualism has been in my family from the beginning, and I had always tried to look and balance both. What is my learning from spiritualism, how I can implement into day-to-day life, being humble, being a lot of things, and I will share that in time to come. But my trigger, real trigger, Deepti, was when I joined my first job. And that was a point of time, due to a lot of reasons, I was determined to grow fast in life. And to the extent I became a rebel, I wanted to work 18 hours, 20 hours. So I got my first job away, far away from my hometown. And before that, I never went away from my hometown. And I went there. I said, fantastic, let me now focus. I started working 18 to 20 hours a day. It went on for 2 weeks. And my boss came to know about it. He called me one day. He said, why are you doing that? And I shared that I want to grow fast in life, and 24 hours is looking less. So he said one thing, see, I like your intent, but the practical side of it is that body needs 7 to 8 hours sleep. You can't go on like this. Your body will give in. And then he said, let me give you a solution. I'm not telling you the problem, I'm giving you the solution. And that's where he introduced something called Yog Nidra. And I have done a different podcast with this. So just to summarize my viewers now, in Yog Nidra, is a standard yoga practice, has been practiced from ages. And in that, 30 minutes practice gives you 3 to 4 hours kind of sleep. Body gets rejuvenated. Just imagine the guy who I was, looking for more hours to work in office because I wanted to extract more. My body got so relaxed in lesser amount of sleep. And as a result, I got fantastic hours. Deepti, fantastic hours. 18 hours I used to work actually, and my body was very hale and hearty, very, very. And that's where I realized, oh my God, I have used a practical mechanism, a spiritual
Mm.
practice in a practical mechanism to grow my career fast in life. And that was my first real time experience. Now, besides giving more time, and my actually career grew multi track,
Mm.
faster on fast track growth. I actually not was on ladder. I was actually flying. I mean, that's actually happened, and due to my hard work, of course, and lesser time. But second thing that happened was, with this practice, I also started getting relaxed, calmer, positive, because I started looking deep inside my soul and started understanding myself, starting understanding bigger purpose. And that's my first trigger and real life example on practical spiritualism, Dipti.
I think that's very, very powerful. I've seen people struggling with burnout, fatigue,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure that, everybody has their own ways of managing stress. They manage it differently. This one worked for you beautifully.
Beautifully.
Some things may work for others, but I think these are some great, powerful tools that, one can actually bring in their life to make it more efficient. Like I said, stretch it to a point, where you're running faster, more efficient, and that's what you did. So, I've lived through your journey in my 15 years of association with you, Sudeep. And I've seen you traveling countries, one day after the other. And, it's been an extremely busy schedules that you followed at that point in time. But at the same point in time, as I saw you being elevated to various leadership positions, I also realized that you started becoming more humble and modest and down to earth and grounded. It's a combination that's very, very hard to see in today's world. And I want you to let our viewers know that what really kept you grounded.
Interesting and good question on. Uh, Actually, as we began this podcast, we said simplistic, real, practical things. I really didn't do any rocket science in this. What I did was, when actually Yog Nidra triggered, looking deep inside, and as I mentioned earlier, I became calmer. The moment you become calmer, go away from anger, you start seeing the bigger picture. So that was one. I started appreciating, understanding other people. So that is one thing that happened. Second thing that happened was, from my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
my basic fundamental was, in a class, I used to look forward to that teacher's class who used to be humble, who used to be very caring and not scaring us. Similarly, in my job, um, a good leader, treating you in a very, very what happened, and appreciating you, not, scolding you. And I thought, why? If I like this trait, it's my responsibility to behave like that for others, to others also, right? Why should I become angry? Why should I scold others? Very
Mm-hmm.
simple thing. So if you match these two things, I'm a soul. I'm performing certain role. Others are doing that
Bit
also.
too, yeah.
Why should I not be humble? Why should I not be grounded? Life does not go on a smooth path. It goes with ups and downs. Everybody goes with ups and downs,
Mm.
right? So why should I be not humble? I mean, to me, this humility, humbleness, being on the ground was always. Rest all happens.
Mm.
That's true purpose, true soul character. That's what I think.
Yeah, so I mean, that it's powerful. It's very inspiring because sometimes I do reflect on a thought that who am I apart from my title, beyond
Absolutely.
my title.
Absolutely.
And when you ask that question, trust me, people do struggle with answers
Absolutely.
because we are so labeled with a
Absolutely.
position, power,
Absolutely.
role. it just gets extremely difficult for us to remove that aspect and think of you as a person, as an individual.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that with us. I think I'm deeply humbled with what you bring to the table, how you see this world, and I hope we are able to add value to many more lives of people who are seeing this and trying to move up the plane of
Absolutely.
practical spirituality.
Absolutely.
So Sudeep, you just called out that how your journey started into spirituality. I wanted to understand that how how did it all transform?
So yeah, I mean, from the, as I mentioned, from my young age itself, I was practicing it, um, but I, um, I would say, uh, incident, a chance incident led me to a gold mine.
Okay.
Um, I have somebody very close and who had gone through past life regression. So before that, I was practicing without knowing that.
Mhm.
And she got transformed. And I'm being a curious person. I said, okay, let me also try to get what is past life regression,
Mhm.
and there was genuine need related to my ailment that I had at that point of time. Um, so I went to past life regression, and believe me, there was no looking back.
Mhm.
One thing led to another, and I ended up seeing past more than 25 past lives. And being a science student, being a logical IT professional, I always question, is this right? Am I hallucinating? Am I not dreaming? I look for logic. I look for proof. And Deepthi, I got not one, not two,
Many.
many. And once you get the proof, there's, as they say, seeing is believing, right? My belief system changed. So I was using practical spirituality. Now it went to different dimension
Level, yeah.
because I saw two, three things. I saw what is the purpose of life. And while doing this past life regression, uh, the person, the healer, took me to life in between session. There's something called life in between. And in life in between session, this is a session happens. What happens after you die in the previous life and you took the birth in this life? What happens? Where does it go? What happens? What's the reality? How you choose? Is this life predefined or defined? We ask a lot of questions, right?
Yeah.
I got the exposure of that. And to the extent I got chance interaction with the spiritual realm, the higher realm, that was so profound. And I don't have to prove or tell anybody anything. This is my reality, this is my truth. I'll now tell the practical side of it. This actually was transformative.
Mm.
The realization, what is the true purpose of soul? We are souls, we are not bodies.
Yeah.
And actually, let me prompt a question from your side.
Okay.
Uh, you should ask what has been the biggest revelation and experience of this transformative learning. What impacted me? And trust me, the very basic realization that we are soul, we are not body, and soul is never bad. Situations, the body, the life, the situations are. Souls are always pure.
Mm.
And this transformed my look. My kaleidoscope, which was still on the ground, went back to,
Yeah.
and I mean,
We've
you
spoken
also
about
mentioned
this.
we used to look at the big picture.
Mm.
The big picture went much higher.
Mm.
And then my visibility became much higher.
Mm.
And then I started appreciating gratitude, all those feelings. I mean, I can. ability to understand, ability to listen to understand what is this person's objective. And practicality, I mean, handling irate customers, relationship challenges we talked about, difficult relations comes into our life, different people come into our life, that transformed to an entirely different level. And feeling of appreciation, gratitude, as you also mentioned, it got internalized. I always look from that side. Then I also looked at there are certain people came for the different role. I mean, they don't align with me. Again, the practical side of it. In practical life, you can't align everybody along with you. You can't. So you have to see to extent how much you can understand and appreciate. Beyond that, you say, this does not align with my purpose. And that's where the concept of closures, forgiveness, move on comes into picture. So I started beautifully, you know, uh, created my meaningful life. Who are the people who make sense, who are aligned, or who maybe I go out of the way to help. But the toxicity in my life is absolutely no. My soul is a pure, I have a positive energy, I need to contribute. I can't go with toxicity. And that's where the closure started coming. And I've beautifully written in my book. I would again request my readers to go back, because book is when the name says unveiling the mystery of souls, people may think, what is soul? Whatever. This is not for me. Trust me, it is important for you for your day-to-day practical challenges, for elevating from that, addressing that. So that's one example I can give you, Deepti.
That actually completely resonates with me. You know, when you start looking at the big picture, I think one of the things that changed in me as well was I became more resilient. So, you
Resilience.
know, you quickly understand the situation. You understand that, you know, how do you want to process it? You want to remove toxicity. You want to keep the good relations. You want to, you know, address the challenge in a certain way. But, you know, you just come out of it so stronger and so easier and so faster. So you are more effective. You know,
More
where I
effective.
may take 10 hours to solve a problem, you know, now I see a problem, I easily elevate, I kind of look through challenges, and uh, definitely practical spiritualism, you know, puts you up to be more resilient.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's a great takeaway. This is so deep, Sudeep. You know, we normally used to laugh, if you remember, you know, where your name ends, my starts.
I know.
And
Deep,
that's how
deeply.
life has also been, right? So, you know, wherever your experiential learning stopped, mine started, and, you know, it always gave me a path. But I also want to, you know, ask you if in case there are any other practical examples that you would want to share with the audience.
Actually, yes. Thinking of our episodes, we have not touched about the health problems, right? So coming back to when I got the understanding of the big picture, I just talked about the realization that soul never dies, the body does, and body is temporary. I am soul, I'm not the body. Basic realization, right? Changing my focus from being inside the body to a big picture. So I started feeling, okay, I'm soul. I have taken multiple lives. I've seen more than 25 past lives. And I said, okay. And again, different past life, giving different roles, playing different role, and hence much more appreciation about how others are living, playing different roles in their life. But my fear from death went away with that. I said, worst case, what will happen? I'll die, and the body will die. Like I change clothes every day in a 24-hour cycle, right? And if you see the life cycle as a 24-hour cycle, compare with that, I will change the body. My soul will not die. So my fear from death went away completely. And so still what happens, Deepti, is that we learn a lot. The challenging and then trying moments, right? Practical part of it, experiential learning. My real challenging moment came when I got diagnosed with cancer. Remember that?
Oh my God. That's
I,
been like one of the most painful
yeah,
episodes.
yeah. I mean, it was a shocker because cancer word in itself for all of us is such a taboo word. I mean, it's such a dangerous word. So it did hit me hard for few moments, but my kaleidoscope changed because I started using this big picture, and immediately I felt, oh, my body will die. I will not die. And suddenly, I mean, I can laugh at it now. I was feeling that exactly that feeling. I will not die. What did that do? It changed my thought process. It took away my stress. It took away my negativity. It brought the fighting power. It brought the positivity. And, as I say, this is CPU, Central Processing Unit. The soul resides here. And so I started sending the positive signals to my body. I started getting in the self healing mode. And I must share the last two sentences in this one is that when I was taken for operation and doctor asked how you are feeling, I said fantastic. He was perplexed. Why fantastic? Who goes for a operation and feels fantastic? I said, no, I'm giving you my body, play with it. I'm sure you will do the good job. You will not try to take my life. Of course, you will try to do best what you can do. And from my side, I am giving you free hand, do whatever. You will try your best. In the worst case scenario, I forgive you. So no cards. Just do your best. And I was somehow very positive that I will survive. I don't know what made that happen, this internalization. I was pretty sure. So I survived cancer. My stress levels went down. So health issues that we talked about in the beginning, from the practical spirituality
Yeah.
perspective, Deepti, that stress, anxiety, uh, mental health,
The killers.
they are killers. And who does not face in everyday's life? Mental health is the issue in corporates, in elderly life, in childhood, everywhere. Believe me, if you understand who you truly are, spiritual part of it, and then apply back practically, it will be, all these problems will be away like anything, like a snap. No rocket science here. Please, again, on that note, I will again say that not just because this is my book, just because I think it will impact your life positively. Please go and read that.
Absolutely. I think I do remember the time when you were getting in for the operation, and as you came out, I've lived that journey with you. And I had this big tears in my eyes, and you had this big laughter saying that nothing's going to happen, so just relax. And you were so calm with yourself, you were so at peace with how you accepted the outcomes of whatever's going to happen. I'm going to take it. And I think it's very difficult to accept that going with the flow, it isn't easy, but it comes with a lot of practice,
Absolutely.
and it also comes with a lot of belief in
Belief,
yourself, in the universe,
belief, belief.
that there's a larger realm to which we all belong.
Yeah,
And
spirituality is not only about religion. No, 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 no. Please, no. Understand, no, not at all. Spiritualism is understanding yourself, self-actualization, understand the power, and then bring on table in practical life. So, Deepti, what's your concluding remark? You did this fantastic podcast. The topic was so profound, related to us. We have lived in that not for short time, long time, and have seen the impact, positive impact out of it. We have impacted other lives as well. Um, so, what's your parting message?
mm, well, there are many, but one of the things that I definitely want to leave people with is that find yourself beyond the title, beyond the position, and I think you'll be able to, get a lot of answers. You will be able to seek a lot of answers in the journey of spirituality.
Thank you so much, Deepti. My parting note to viewers is that in today's fast-paced, complex um, world, we face a lot of challenges. As we started with saying that, mental health, physical health, um, relationship challenges, stress, anxiety, complexity. Um, Soul is very simple. Soul is very simple. Take these as a challenges. These are as a testers, the flyers that comes to you. Please look deep inside yourself. Understand you have immense power. Understand um, you are larger, much larger than what you look at that. And that will come with certain practices, as simple as meditation, as simple as deep breathing, but then as simple as certain other tools you can, and that tools I have written in my book. It can go to past life regression also. It can vary, whatever suits you, but please look at yourself, find your power, elevate yourself, explore yourself and elevate yourself. That's most profound. You have to be good to yourself, right? Isn't it our duty? You have to be good to yourself, make your life easier. And that's the whole purpose of doing this podcast. So that's my 2 cents. uh, I can't emphasize enough. I will again say, if you have not read my book, not just because it's my book, please read it. I've created for spreading the positivity in the world. With that, my friends, we have come to the end of this podcast series, end of the second episode, as well as the podcast series. It was wonderful to have you here. And if you watched this till the end, please like, subscribe, and share. Share positivity, share good ideas, share good thought process. Thank you so much for being on my show. And Deepti, thank you so very much from the core of my heart to be part of this series.
Thank you for having me, Sudeep.
Thank you.